Hello friends, I'm Larry Miller. Welcome to my course on team leadership and the kata of high performance. That means developing the habits in your team and in yourself that result in high performance. During this lecture, I'd like to introduce you to the objectives of the course and some basic elements of the content. But just first, a small technical thing. Be sure when you turn on your computer and go on to the course, if you go to the lower right-hand corner of the screen, move your mouse over there, your cursor over there. There's a little wheel, and that wheel will give you the different resolutions. Be sure it's at the highest resolution. It will help a lot in terms of reading the diagrams and so forth. It won't help with my appearance. That's beyond hope. But I am recording this at 1080p, so if you can get that, that would be great. Okay, so let's just talk about the basic idea of this course. Now, when you think about change in an organization, and you think about change and learning, developing habits, you can think about three levels in the organization. There is the person, the individual, you. Then there's the team on which you serve or which you lead. And then there's the culture of the organization as a whole. Now, it is my hope that this course will influence all three of those elements, and they're all interrelated. Each one, of course, affects the other. So as you go through this course, I'm going to be asking you to do some things that hopefully will develop your skills and improve your habits in terms of problem solving and decision making, leading your team. And as you do that, hopefully that will improve the habitual behavior, the norms of your team. And if that happens in more than one team, if it happens in a lot of teams, that will change the culture of the organization. So think about that, and of course that works in reverse too, right? I mean, the culture of the organization affects the behavior of teams, which affects the behavior of the individuals, so it goes both ways. But I'm hopeful that this course, and I know from my many years of experience implementing teams in organizations, that this can improve all three of those levels. Okay, so what is the purpose of this course? Well, I'm an advocate of lean management, Toyota production system. I've been involved at Honda and Toyota and other lean organizations and helped organizations become, quote, lean. And there's always a technical side and a social side. There's the layout of work, the just-in-time, all the arrangement of equipment, the definition of jobs, etc. But more importantly, there is the human behavior. There's the social system of the organization. And I hope to influence that. The social system of the organization is based on teams, and it's based on the idea of continuous improvement and respect for people. Now, continuous improvement is the basic idea that we're never there and we're always in motion, we're always on the journey, we're always kind of climbing the mountain, if you will, from where we are to where we could be, and there's always a higher state, there's always a could be. And whether it's in our personal life or whether it's in the life of the organization and our teams, we should constantly be seeking continuous improvement. We should have what I like to call creative dissatisfaction. Doesn't mean we're neurotically dissatisfied, but it means we know where we are and we know where we could be. And there's always a could be, and we're striving to close the gap between where we are and where we could be. And that's the idea of continuous improvement. So that's the purpose of the course, and it's the purpose of the course to help the organization achieve higher performance and develop what I'll just call the habits of science, the attitudes of science, which basically, you know, I mean, it always sounds sort of intimidating to some people, but it's a very simple thing. It means looking at the facts, looking at the data, and then experimenting, trying stuff, and seeing how that affects the data. And if it affects the data positively, you keep doing it. And if it doesn't, you try something else. It's really very simple. And every team in the organization, from the senior management team to the team at the lowest level in the organization, can and should, in my opinion, be engaged in that process of continuous improvement. So that's the purpose of this course, is to help you get there. And it's also the purpose of the course to improve the economy of the organization, to improve economic performance so jobs are more secure, etc. Now, I have another idea, and that idea is a very simple idea, which is that we spend more of our time at work than we do any place else, except maybe in the family, but maybe we spend more time at work. And I think you'd enjoy it. I think work should be a blast. Work should be fun. Work should be a challenge. Work should have deep purpose and meaning in our lives. And it's my hope that if the social system of the organization, how people work together and how teams function is healthy and positive, you will enjoy the workplace more, and people will want to work where you work. They'll want to work for your organization. And in the age of competition for skills and talent, that is really, really important. So let's make it a great place to work. Now, two types of learning. There is education, which produces knowledge, data in the data bank. If you know history, if you know mathematics, if you know psychology, that's all great. But you're not using it every day, right? It doesn't mean you're behaving in a certain way each day. It's up here in the data bank to be called upon. You know, it's like you Google it, right? You go get it when you need it. But there's also habits. Now, there are very different kinds of learning. I play the guitar, the acoustic blues, folk blues guitar. If you learn to play the guitar, you know, there's thumb picking, right? There's the finger style, 3-finger picking. And let me just tell you something. You can't just read a book and do it. You got to practice till you're bored stiff with it. Because it has to become a very automatic habit. Just like touch typing. If you can touch type well, it's a very automatic habit pattern. Well, most of our behavior at work is habitual behavior. How we make decisions. You know, a problem comes to us and we go boom. And we don't go through some great model of decision making. We have habits of decision making. And when we work in groups, we have habits of working in groups. Well, the purpose of this course is to improve those habits. And the idea of a kata is the idea of a discipline of practice that improves the habits of people. If you want to see a great example of that, go on YouTube and call up the Karate Kid, where the master has Daniel, the student, doing wax on and wax off on his car and sanding the floor and painting a fence. And the student gets sick of that and he says, damn it, I didn't come here to paint your fence, I came here to learn karate. And then suddenly you will see the master illustrates to him that what he has been learning are katas. They're automatic, habitual behaviors that when you need to call upon them, they are there. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this course. You can think about the learning process. It's much like the problem-solving model of plan, do, check, act, or plan, do, study, act. We're going to learn, do, study, and act. We're going to acquire knowledge about how to make great decisions and how to work in a team, how to facilitate a team. We're going to practice the behavior. We're going to do it and learn from doing it. I'm going to recommend a coach for everybody in the organization. I'm going to recommend that every manager have somebody who is coaching him or her. Why? Because coaches provide feedback. They help you learn. And some people have the mistaken idea that, well, gee, if I need a coach, there must be something wrong with me. No. The best athletes in the world have coaches. Tom Brady, the quarterback of the New England Patriots, has a coach and a trainer. Why is that? Doesn't he know how to do his job? Well, he's smart enough to know that his job is to continuously improve, and he can continuously improve best if somebody's giving him feedback and providing coaching to him. So I recommend that everybody have a coach to help them go through, and in the next lecture, I'm going to give you an outline, a model for more precisely how to go about that. And then the habits get reinforced, and then you keep doing it. You know, I believe great advocate of positive reinforcement. So we should reinforce the right habits in our teams and in our leaders. Why teams? Well, it's a very simple idea. Every society is built upon the foundation of the family unit. The family unit is the first learning organization. When the family unit is healthy, the society tends to be healthy. When the family unit is in disintegration, guess what happens? The whole society suffers a host of ills and problems. Our organizations are exactly the same. The health of teams, the degree to which teams function well, our organizations function well. They are the basic unit. Whether in the management ranks, the senior management team, the board of directors, they're all teams. Or the frontline teams in a factory floor or wherever the work gets done. So we're going to work on improving those teams because they are the backbone of every organization. So there are fundamentally two types of teams in our organizations, And the skills that you're going to learn during this course apply to both of them. But I'm very often going to be talking about the natural work teams or the natural management teams, the permanent teams, versus the Kaizen improvement teams, the problem-solving teams, the quality circles, project teams. They're both good, but the project teams or problem-solving groups are formed around a problem. And then when they present a solution to that problem, they usually are recommending rather than deciding. They recommend a solution, and then they go away. You might ask, where did the problems come from? Well, where the problems come from was the functioning of the natural work teams. The degree to which the work teams, management teams function well, you have less need for those problem-solving groups because on the spot, right at, as they say at Toyota, at the Gemba, where the work gets done, people are solving problems very, very quickly and they're engaged in continuous improvement. So that we're going to focus more on those teams than on the problem-solving groups, but the skills apply to both. Okay, next we're going to come back and we're going to look at a coaching map and some of the specifics of the curriculum of the course. Thanks.